So I thought I'd make a video to show some of the photos and just talk a little bit about our little holiday in Thailand. I thought it'd be a smarter way to do it, to make a YouTube, than to tell different people the same story over and over. Got a bit of a cold when we were there, but I think that's because it was quite warm outside, low 30s, high humidity, and then it was in and out of air conditioning. But that's life. We had a really nice time. We didn't spend a whole lot of money. We didn't have a whole lot of money, but that was okay. We had a lot of fun. We had to fly through Sydney because that was the cheapest way. So we had about 7 hours at the airport, which was a bit of a drag. And we sort of did an overnight at Melbourne Airport the night before. But anyway, I'll do anything for a cheap ticket. So we went through Sydney, and then it's about a 8-hour flight. So we got there, on time and all that. And then we went to the resort. The resort's called the Sea Pearl Resort. It's owned by the Wyndham Group. They haven't had it for that long, so quite a nice resort. I'll show a few photos. We had okay weather. It didn't rain too much. Actually, they've got a drought, so like many places in the world, not enough water at the moment. But yeah, it wasn't really hot either, so we didn't really swim that much. They gave us some nice flowers, Grinnell anyway. It's quite green over there, despite it being in a drought. It's not much water in the dams, but it's still green. There's the flag of Thailand. The red is for the nation, the white is for their religion, and the blue in the middle is for the king. It's a kingdom, so they really have a lot of photos of the king and all that everywhere. There's a bus that goes from the resort to the town. It's only about 2 or 3 kilometres away, but there's no way you could walk it. It's way too dangerous. There's no footpaths. There's a lot of traffic. So we really enjoyed the bus and went into town basically every day. There's the flag again. They've got nice pools over there. This is one of the main pools. It's actually like an infinity pool, then it sort of cascades down to another infinity pool. There's the second part of it. But like I said, it wasn't quite warm enough to swim, so this is our room, and you can see Renelle standing there. I got some thongs for a bit of fun. They're fish in case you can't make it out. We had our own little jacuzzi, and that was really nice on the balcony, and that actually looked down to the pool that I showed you before. So I went in there quite a few times. There's just some other photos around the resort. This is something they do in Thailand, where they put a red mark on the floor where there's fire extinguishers. And one of the things I like about travelling is you see different things in different countries. And I think this is really smart, and I saw this at other places, like at the shopping centre, basically saying, keep clear, don't put anything here. There's, fire extinguisher or, fire exits and that sort of thing. This is some of the toilets at the resort, which is quite nice. So there's a water feature that goes all around the whole lobby, including this toilet. But there's an open side, and there's a rock wall there you can see, and then if you look a bit higher, there's rooms. So I thought that's a bit weird. Very good for ventilation, but not real private. There's just gutters I liked. I used some reinforcement bar and welded them. I thought that was nice. You can see a worker working on the second story here, and not too much occupational health and safety going on. He's basically just holding on to a pole, and it's quite high. And there's a photo of our little bus. They had a few nicer buses than that too. And there's the view to the town, and you can see there's a lot of traffic. So you can't walk, even though it's close. This is now in the town. This is a temple. We didn't go there, just went past it. Very nice and ornate and intricate. There's a shopping centre there called Jung Ceylon, like Ceylon, the country. Anyway, there's a story behind why it's called Jung Ceylon, but I won't bore you with it here. But basically, it's a mispronunciation. Quite a nice shopping centre. Went there quite a few times. Basically, we went into town every day to get food, and they've got this nice junk boat replica there. And there's Renelle. Quite a nice setup. Basically, the Western type of setup: McDonald's, Burger King, all that sort of stuff. There's some markers telling you how far you are from other main cities in the world. You can see Moscow. There's a lot of Russians there when we were there. Getting cold over there, I suppose. So they come down to Thailand to warm up. I got this shirt, which I quite liked. It's in their language. Basically says, I don't want to catch a taxi. I don't want you to make a tailored suit for me, and I don't want a massage. Thank you very much. So you can guess what a lot of the businesses are in the town there. Nice little boat we saw at the shopping centre. This guy was making custom-made thongs. You can choose the top and the bottom in different colours, and he can make them for you, which is quite interesting. I like just seeing different things in different countries. Obviously in Asia they eat a lot of rice, so they have big packs of rice at the counters when you pay, so you don't have to carry it all the way through the shop. Makes sense. This is a Patong Beach sign. So yeah, basically the whole town is just shops and bars, massage parlours, food, all that sort of stuff. Very touristy town. There's the beach itself. I had a quick dip. Very nice warm water. Although the water was a bit brown, I didn't really think it was that clean. But very nice and warm. They obviously have tsunami signs, which is a bit of a worry. They have a lot of little Buddhist shrines, and the weird thing is they have little, I don't know, they leave sacrifices or whatever. They leave soft drinks and all sorts of stuff at the shrines, which to me is a bit weird, but a very Buddhist place. This is just some of the scenery in the town. One of the massage parlours, and if you look carefully on the door, there's a sign that says no sex. So hopefully you don't need to have that sign for that to happen, but probably some bad things happen in other places. Here's a float we saw one day. I don't know if these are ladyboys or just a bunch of weirdos or what the story was. But you can see there's a guy with a big plastic pole. The float, the truck and all the setup was too high. So he basically just got a big plastic pole and just lifted up all the electrical wires for the truck to be able to get through. So it's not something you see every day. Here's a little petrol stand for the motorbike people to fill up. They can just buy a little glass bottle of gasoline. Here's an Irish pub that a couple of dwarfs, Thai dwarfs, working at the front. Here's a plumbing solution that I saw, very basic. I think it's air conditioning overflow. Just got a plastic bottle. These are the only elephants we saw. Too expensive. But anyway, that's okay. This guy was pulling his jet skis along on a motorbike. And most of the motorbikes, about probably half of the people don't wear helmets. Just a bit of scenery and a bit of the transportation. And a lot of people, just getting around in whatever way they can. We got talked into going to this other resort. It's sort of like a timeshare. I didn't sign up or anything, but they showed us around and gave us some food and whatever. Quite a nice resort. They're still building it. Very pretty. And good views down over the whole bay, which you can see here. Nice rooms. There's me and the salesman dude. So I'll talk a little bit about food and beverage. A lot of the food in the town is sold on little carts like this. I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't really go for that. Went more for the Western options, Burger King, McDonald's, that sort of stuff. It was a bit expensive. You can see the prices there, basically divide by 20, and that's in dollars then. So normal sort of stuff, some different things, all the usual brands, but just with Thai writing. You can see me with Ronald McDonald there, and he's sort of holding his hands like in a prayer sort of fashion. That's a traditional Thai greeting, so a lot of the people do that when they see you, especially if they're, parted with some of your money. If they're happy or something, they say thanks like this. McDonald's pineapple pie, corn pie, very nice, a bit different. This is just a rubbish bag with 2 KFC cups in it. Now, I must say, everything that you see is not what I ate or drank. We didn't eat and drink everything we saw that you can see in the photos. We did have these little drinks, and what we liked about this bag is it was basically welded down the bottom, joined, and then it had a handle up the top, and that really makes it easy to carry it around. It doesn't, they don't clash, they don't get off balance. You can carry 2 nicely like this. They have a lot of 7-Elevens over there, and that's quite a cheap place to eat. So I went there quite a lot. They have a lot of prepackaged burgers and meals, and they just heat it up for you in the microwave. And there's a bottle of Red Bull. Apparently Red Bull came from Thailand originally. And they also have a lot of chips and toasties, all prepackaged. Way too much plastic in that country, if you ask me. Just packaging left, right and centre. And even if you buy things, they give you 2 or 3 bags when they could have given you 1. But really good place to eat, much better than the 7-Elevens we have here in Oz. And cheap as well. Nice milkshake we had. Toasties, they make them warm for you, of course. Even the bananas were packaged in plastic. I mean, no wonder there's so much plastic in the oceans. They like to carve their fruit, mangoes and pineapple. A bit fancy. Sell it at the markets like that. Corn on the cob, nice and warm. They have this weird rule about selling alcohol between those hours that you can see. You can't buy alcohol. The shop is open, the people are working there, doing stock take and whatever, but it's illegal to sell, so they don't. Some of the whiskies and whatever spirits were quite cheap, so once again, that'd be about $7 in our money. Pretty cheap. I lost my appetite when I saw this place. I think you can work out why. I lost it again when I saw this. Bamboo worms. And again when I saw this, silkworms. Stuff you wouldn't get here. They have a lot of Lay's chips. Lay's is an American brand, I think, but they have a lot of nice flavours. Thai crab and green curry and all sorts of wonderful flavours. As you can see, this is in Russian. Like I said, a lot of Russians there at the moment. Nice little ice cream stand. We enjoyed that. They basically just put the cream on and it just freezes on the spot. They scrape it up. This is a nice little coffee drink that I had. And what I really like about it, it has this like jelly tubes they put in the bottom, and you can see the little black things down the bottom. And they have these really thick straws, so you can actually suck them all up. Really nice. We went to this bazaar, and we had a meal upstairs, like a food court up there. And what I liked about it is they had basically one cashier, and you had to go to the shop that you wanted to get your meal from. They'd write down a code, and you go to the cashier, and the cashier would then give you a voucher. So basically one central point for handling the cash. There's some weird stuff downstairs. Lost my appetite again. People eat this stuff, and I understand you can take it upstairs to the bazaar and they cook it for you, but it's not my cup of tea. We went to this nice curry restaurant one day, so it wasn't all 7-Elevens and McDonald's, so that was really nice. Now this is the Two Heroines statue or monument, and I'll put a link below. It's quite an interesting story and quite proud heritage for the people of Phuket. I'll put a link in the comments, and you can read up about the Two Heroines if you like. And this is now basically on the way back to the airport. The driver was driving really fast. Sometimes he was trying to overtake other cars on bends and all sorts of stuff. So some of the photos are a bit fuzzy, but basically just showing you the king and all the monuments they have. And taxi driver went some of the back roads, so you can see the blue dot there. He was trying to miss traffic basically, so we sort of went to back roads, which was quite nice because I could see a lot of the real Thailand. And a bit more of the king and his monuments everywhere. And then we came home. So it was a very nice holiday. A lot of resting. Unfortunately, a few days of us being sick. A lot of just sightseeing and just experiencing a different culture. We also did go to this bar, which showed the rugby. I was going to watch it on my phone. And then, of course, they geo-block me. That means they block you when you're in another country. So we got on the free bus, zipped into town, and watched the second half. And the last few minutes is basically some of the South Africans that we saw in the bar there, celebrating the win, of course, of the Rugby World Cup. And yeah, it was just a good fun time. And especially the big guy dancing behind the bar. He was a bit funny to watch. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my little video, and God bless. Bye.